because I shared you the
Madam.
content.
Content of that.
So according to that suggestion given by the faculty, unit number. What are the unit number actually? Let me open
Yeah.
it. What was the unit? One. I think it was 1, 4,
Yes.
6, 7, 8
वो सब डिस्क्रिप्टिव
and
के लिए
11.
है ना.
राइट हाँ.
हाँ.
आप देख सकते हो वैसे मतलब.
हाँ. मैं लिख के दे मीन्स
हाँ यहाँ पे
यहाँ पे.
बताइए. वन है या याद है एंड
हाँ,
4 will be
एक मिनट
there.
में बताती हूँ आपको.
Then 6, 7, 8 and 11 as far I remember, if I am not wrong.
यहाँ पे खोल रही हूँ. 1 4 6 7 8 11 है. करेक्ट.
1, 4, 6, 7, 8,
8 11.
11. Right. Okay. So these are the
4 6
units.
7 8 and 11 for descriptive.
Hmm.
और इसमें एमसीक्यू के लिए प्रिडिक्शन क्या है आपका? लाइक CA1 CA2 ये पीपीटी इनका पीपीटी से शायद इसमें आता है कि नहीं, तो उनका एक ऑनलाइन में ज्यादातर रहता है
हाँ
शायद इनका.
यही प्रेडिक्शन है. इनका ऑनलाइन में ही है.
सारा एमसीक्यूज ऑनलाइन ही है.
Hmm. आप चिंता मत करो. यही एक दो सब्जेक्ट होगा. एक तो आपका मतलब मैक्सिमम आपको पीपीटी से मिलेगा जो क्लाउड वाला. वो एक
क्लाउड वाला पीपीटी
फैकल्टी.
में.
हाँ हाँ फैकल्टी को हम देखे हैं. अगर शी गोज इन द CA3 in the same way that she
हम्म.
made CA3,
हम्म.
then she will give most of the things from the PPTs.
पीपीटी. ओके.
ओके. उसका क्वेश्चन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. मतलब कि वो उसको वो जो क्वेश्चन वाला सेट है उसको देख के पता चलता है कि वो मतलब शी
कंटेंट.
she created those things from within the syllabus, from within the content.
हम्म.
Okay.
हम्म.
Not, she was not like blindly copied from the program.
ऑनलाइन ब्लाइंडली कॉपिंग द एमसीक्यूज.
And
और
to some extent
हाँ.
our AWT faculty
ओके.
जो ओल्ड पर्सन है.
विश्वनाथ सर. हाँ.
मुझे नाम पता नहीं रहते हैं. मतलब याद
हाँ.
नहीं रहते हैं. So to some extent he will also give it from the PPTs.
पीपीटी में. ओके. और इसका क्या लगता है आपको, एडवांस सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग?
मतलब हाल क्या है. I did not attend any of his class.
He
Hardly.
was telling, I think I attended his session. He
Acha,
was
what
telling.
he was telling that whatever he will do it from the uh, SLM. Okay. Since
बट
there was
इनका
no PPT.
पीपीटी नहीं है.
नहीं है PPT.
हाँ.
सो एक एक तो सही है. चलो आप PPT को पढ़ो, SLM को पढ़ो, इसका झंझट नहीं है. So you can concentrate
हाँ, एक
directly on
ही
the SLM. Okay.
SLM.
So although most of the contents are same, but still that is good. And in SLM it is better because you have some start point and end point. But in PPT the things are they collected the things in such a way that sometimes those are so in, in short. Okay. So they hardly form any descriptive answer from there. So it is better the SLM. And for software engineering we'll discuss later. I think I did not
हम्म.
go inside that subject till now. Okay.
ओके.
But here this subject is also very huge.
हम्म.
Data, advanced data management technique. Okay. Oh, very good coloring I have done.
ऑलरेडी यू रेड.
नहीं बात क्या है ना कि रेड करूँ तो ठीक है. Anyway, so यूनिट वन ये जो है.
हाँ, फैक्ट टेबल और डायमेंशन टेबल वो
हाँ,
मीन्स
ये यही जो
ये हो
चीज़
गया मेरा।
मुझे सबसे मतलब ठीक ठाक नहीं लगते इनके, कि देखिए
हम्म।
यूनिट वन शुरू किए हैं विदाउट एनी इंट्रोडक्शन, नथिंग इज देयर, डायरेक्टली आके डायरेक्ट डेटा मैनेजमेंट टेक्निक्स एंड डायमेंशन मॉडलिंग. What is
हम्म।
dimension modeling? Why we need dimension modeling? Okay, why this subject is for? Nothing is there. Anyway, basically, आपको डायमेंशन मॉडलिंग इस जैसे कि हम लोग पहले भी डेटाबेस में किए थे, रिलेशनल मॉडल है ना, रिलेशनल
हम्म।
मॉडलिंग. ओके.
आरडीबी। हम्म।
हाँ. सो रिलेशनल मॉडलिंग, हायरार्किकल data structure. So, like those, dimension modeling is also there, and this is basically for data warehousing. Okay, this needs
हम्म।
for data warehousing. Okay, and the whole subject is not, see, this advanced data modeling, ना ADMT.
हम्म।
Advanced क्या है subject का नाम? Advanced Data Management Technique,
डेटा
right?
मैनेजमेंट।
Advanced Data Management Technique. So in this subject, what I found, they were trying to mm, give the ideas of some advanced technique in general data management, advanced technique in general data management, right?
हम्म।
Next, they have something from data warehouse basics. They have something from distributed database, okay, and they have something from object-oriented database.
हम्म।
Everything is something something, okay,
हम्म।
but not properly organized. Like this, the very first time, very first slide, they have introduced dimensional modeling. Anyway, no
डायमेंशन
problem.
मॉडलिंग।
So we have to go according to that pattern. But dimensional modeling is basically needed for
हम्म।
in data warehousing. Okay.
हम्म।
So in dimension modeling, you have to identify the two things. One is your fact table, another is your dimension table. Okay, and the
हम्म।
schemas.
स्टार स्कीमा, स्नोफ्लेक्स स्कीमा।
Yeah, star schema. So snowflake schema.
एंड वन मोर आई थिंक शी गिव।
Yeah, this is star schema, snowflake schema, hybrid snowflake
ओनली
schema.
टू।
See, introduction to data management technique, OLTP. This
हाँ।
OLTP should come earlier than this dimensional modeling.
हम्म।
Anyway, so you have the two schema, na?
हाँ,
Star
स्टार
schema
स्कीमा,
and
स्नोफ्लेक्स।
snowflake schema, and that's all. They are not going to give anything else. See,
I read
this
with the
this
star
figure
schema
this
now.
figure is copyright protected. See here the watermark.
Mm.
Okay. So next is your OLTP. This is your unit two, and she excluded
Mm.
descriptive. This unit. Okay.
Mm.
OLTP is basically online transaction processing. Means whatever we have experienced so far in DBMS in our
Mm.
earlier semester. Okay. Those are all called OLTP. Okay. Two things are
Okay.
there in data management. In database can be designed in two way. If you
Mm.
shortly
Mm.
figure out this thing, one is your OLTP, another is your OLAP. Na?
Ah,
OLTP, another is your
online.
OLAP.
Mm.
OLTP is online transaction processing. Means the databases that are used in business purpose, daily basis. Okay, just like
Mm.
your student database, and there are in college database. There are
Mm.
student tables, faculty tables, fees collection tables, or in any organization. Okay, you have in HR department, you have employee table, you have the um, other other tables related to
Mm.
that department, or in your some business operations like sales. Okay, so you
Mm.
have your product tables, you have your transaction tables, you have your um, vendor tables, something like that. Okay, so whatever
Mm.
transaction you are performing, your system is performing daily
Mm.
basis, regular
Mm.
basis, those
Mm-hmm.
are come under this OLTP category. Okay,
Okay.
OLAP is a slower process, you can say. Okay, this is
Mm.
basically used for reporting purpose, from managerial
Analytical
perspective,
processing, no?
reporting
Mm.
purpose. Okay, OLAP. QK, because this is online analytical processing. So who needs
Mm.
analysis? Analytical reporting, who needs in an organization, who need that thing? Obviously the managers. Okay.
Managers.
So see, nowadays the businesses are hugely depend on the reports, because the managers need to take the decisions. Okay,
Mm.
for promoting
Comparison.
their products and some business strategy. Okay, to decide the business strategies. So for those purpose, huge amount of reports are needed to be generated from the
Mm.
database. Okay, company database. But see,
Mm.
uh, the company database means all the tables are there inside. Okay, so these database is also used by the users of your business, na?
Mm.
Users of your business, and these database will also be used by the managers, right?
Mm.
Managers, tell me what type of use of the, so clearly there are two types of use, no? One is
Correct.
used by your users, means your customers, and
And
another is
admin
used by
level.
your managers to take some
Mm.
decisions on the business.
Mm.
Okay, so what type of use is more important to company?
Manager level.
No, this is the customer level,
Mm-hmm.
because if customer
Mm.
suffers, okay, then the business will gone. No,
Mm-hmm.
so always this thing should be given priority. Okay,
Mm. Correct.
so if both the operations are executed on the same database, then obviously performance will be degraded. You
Mm.
agree? Okay,
Yes, yes.
so this is the philosophy. Just a minute, another
Mm.
call.
Mm.
সঞ্জয় দা, 10টার পরে আমি ক্লাসে আছি। হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা। হুম, কোনো প্রবলেম নেই, বলে দেবে। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, নিয়ে নেবো, অসুবিধা নেই, তুই রাখ না। ঠিক আছে, হ্যাঁ। So online transaction processing is basically this one, and
Mm-hmm.
OLAP is basically this one. Okay.
Okay.
So what they are actually trying to do, so let the user do their transactions on the database,
Uh,
main database. Okay,
uh,
and for analytical purpose, all the
uh,
records are scaled and
uh,
grouped together and shifted
mm.
to some other place. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
from where the managers will get the reports.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
so clearly we are not entertaining the managers for their reports on the uh, database, on the same database where day-to-day works have been
Correct.
going on. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
these are some routines, these will be some
Mm.
routines. Okay, so these
Mm.
routines will be invoked uh, after an interval. Okay, maybe
Mm.
um, per day,
P
or maybe
day,
per
week.
month, week, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these data then accumulately sent to some other database. Okay,
Mm.
and this is sometimes called data warehouse. Okay,
Mm.
so this is the purpose of the
OLTP and
web
OLAP.
OLAP,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Difference between OLAP and OLTP in DBMS clearly written. OLTP examples: online banking,
Hmm.
booking tickets, everything. Whatever you experience as a
Daily
customer,
activities
daily
as
activities,
a
those are
customer.
all OLTP, comes under
OLTP.
OLTP.
Okay.
Okay, then advantages of OLAP. This is a good unit from where descriptive can be made.
Second unit. Okay.
Second unit. Introduction to data management. This is again unit 1. Now, what you will understand. The same topics are there. No, the slides are different. Huh? See here.
Hmm.
This is unit 1 again.
Hmm.
And this was
Might
unit.
be,
This was also unit 1.
might be that pre-recording one.
Dimensional modeling. See here.
See,
Okay.
part one,
Part 1, unit 1,
unit
part
one.
1. Acha, that was
Mm-hmm.
unit 2, unit 1, part 2. It comes after unit
Mm.
2.
Unit two, part one. Might be.
Unit 1. There is no part.
Mm.
Anyway,
Mm.
so data management technique introductions.
This was first she
Oh,
explained.
acha, acha, acha. This is the
Then
thing,
uh,
right? Okay.
PPTs are not
Why managing our
arranged
data
properly.
important? Fine. Data management tools and technique,
Mm.
wide range of. Anyway, these are database management system, big data management. Even it comes under unit 1, we what kind of descriptive unit? Data warehouse and data lakes. Data lakes was earlier something like that data warehousing. Okay, data
Mm-hmm.
lakes.
Previous version.
Huh. Data integration is basically that ETL process. You remember
Mm.
that was the question we missed.
Yes.
So ETL was basically that phase.
Extract, transform, and load. No?
Yes, yes. From day to day data. Okay. From day to day data. Okay.
Mm.
The data should be fetched and put it to the data warehouse. Okay.
Okay.
The process is your ETL. ETL.
Mm.
Okay. So through ETL, data may be come from different locations. Okay.
Mm.
So ETL is basically that kind of process which takes the data from every corner of the organization throughout the
Mm.
world and producing that kind of data which are specifically required by the managers to produce the report.
Mm.
Specifically required to produce the report to the manager. Reports to the manager. Okay. So
Mm.
that process is called ETL.
ETL
Types of data. Okay. From here you can have some question.
for MCQs, huh?
Why?
Or descriptive only.
Descriptive. What are the different types of data? Have I mentioned that
Mm.
question? What are the different types
Just
of
a
data?
second.
Give examples.
Just a second.
Okay.
Mm.
Relationship.
No.
This is an important one. If I did not mention, then note it down.
Okay. No, no, no. You
This
have
one.
given this different type of data. Explain
Different
with
types.
an
Uh,
example. It is given.
this should be a good question.
Ah,
Examples. You should prepare that thing.
ah. Then
Okay. Next, you
that
have
is been
data
given.
models. Interior.
Ah.
No need. No need. Entity. No need. OLTP, OLAP, again OLTP and OLAP. No need. Limitations of OLTP, dimension modeling life cycle, elements of dimensional data model, Okay, see here. The unit 2 is been marched into unit 1 in this PPT. Now,
Mm-hmm.
see here again there's those OLTP. I told you now from in the last unit, there's a good descriptive question can be made from this unit. I told you. So those all things have been put inside this. So from here, one question you may expect that what are the different components of
Mm.
mm, dimensional model? Not this
Components of
one.
dimensional mode.
Where is dimension model? Dimension modeling. Why life cycle? Dimension modeling. Okay. What are the different components of dimension modeling? So the components will be your fact table and dimension table, and
Mm.
the advantage. See, these are the attributes: fact table, dimension table. So these are the things. Okay, fact tables, attribute, fact tables, and dimension tables. These things you have to mention.
Okay.
No need new trend in computing. बेकार है. Big data also do not need.
Mm.
For short question, everything is important.
Okay. Okay.
Cloud computing, no need. Short question, as we discussed.
Mm.
Unit 2, let's say unit 2,
Part
advanced
one.
SQL, we do not have these things.
Okay. No queries are there.
Hmm. Advanced SQL, embedded SQL. Cypria also today confirmed that there will be no
Mm.
queries. Why do we need embedded SQL? Okay, I was planning to show you some practical in our Oracle for
Mm-hmm.
creating user defined. Let's see if we can do it a little bit because mm, if there is a query, then that should be there from unit 6. Again, unit 2. How many unit 2s are there?
Part one, part two might be,
3
because
unit
they
2.
for everything there is this thing. What it is? Pre-recording sessions.
देखिए कितना सुंदर क्वेश्चन बन सकता था. ट्रिगर, create a trigger for this thing, but
Hope they will not give creating trigger and all in the exam, na?
अगर दे दे तो अच्छा रहते. Okay, just like mathematics you can get the full marks out of it.
Okay.
यूनिट 3, ट्रांजैक्शन स्टेट्स. ये भी एक बहुत अच्छा सा क्वेश्चन था डिस्क्रिप्टिव के लिए. ट्रांजैक्शन
She's not
स्टेट.
taking this
नो.
unit.
ओके. हाँ, राइट. ही इज नॉट टेकिंग दिस यूनिट टू. Advanced transaction processing, this is also not there, so move to,
Fourth unit है क्या वो?
yeah, fourth unit.
Advanced.
In
Okay.
fourth unit what we have? अरे, unit 3, 4 unit SQL ingestion, right?
हम्म. यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन
SQL
बनाए थे
ingestion.
अपने. What is in scale injection?
देखिए, SQL ingestion. Okay, there is a problem here. I was actually going through these units 4,
Mm-hmm.
6, 7. SQL ingestion method. Okay, so
Mm.
injection attack. Hmm.
Mm.
Injection attack is the general category.
Mm.
It There are many injection type attack. Among them, one is your SQL injection. Okay,
Okay.
SQLI
Oh, that
ऐसे
itself a
लिखते हैं.
subcategory.
Yeah, right. Okay. So SQL injection is one of the most, see here, one of the most common threads of database. So there are other injection type threads. SQL injection under the
Mm.
attacker injects string input. Mm, these languages have been copied. I have the book with me also. SQL manipulation. See here, SQL ingestion and SQL manipulation
Manipulation.
is same.
Because that is the explanation given for SQL injection.
See here, there is a
Because
problem in this arrangement. See here, SQL ingestion methods. What is the broad point? SQL ingestion methods. Okay, so in an SQL ingestion attack, so it is okay. Say an SQL ingestion attack can harm database. Okay, it can be used to. It is also okay. Now see here, this section describe you different types of injection attack. Why? This section
हम्म,
describe the types of SQL injection attack, है ना? ऐसा होना
हाँ
चाहिए.
हाँ
So
कॉमन इंजेक्शन
injection
नहीं होना चाहिए
injection
उनके
attack is different. Okay.
हाँ
See here now, in consequence, what is this point? SQL manipulation. See here. So this section describe types of injection attacks. So what are the types of injection attack? SQL manipulation. Okay.
हम्म,
Then you have code injection. See here. This
ओ
code injection is another type of injection. Okay.
हाँ बिकॉज कहीं पे मैंने अभी अभी नोट्स बना है ये
And
टाइप
this
ऑफ
one,
एसक्यूएल
function
इंजेक्शन
call
में
injection. Okay. If you search the net, you will find plenty of sites
नहीं आई
showing
थिंक
this.
इन एसएलएम ओनली आई
Hmm.
हैव टेकन एसक्यूएल इंजेक्शन टाइप्स एज इनबाउंड एसक्यूएलआई इनकरेंट
Inbound, outbound, those are the types of
हाँ
SQL injection
एसक्यूएल इंजेक्शन
attacks.
दिस ओनली आई हैव मेड अ नोट टुडे
Yes, yes, exactly. So if the question is, I made this question in that way. That if the question is something like that, describe the different types of SQL injection methods. So this is
देन आई
not
हैव टू
going to
राइट
be the things, I think. Okay.
हाँ
Then there is a big question. Which one you will going to take? I don't know. Okay.
I have prepared the answer for that like this. What is SQL injection I have mentioned and types I have taken it as inbound SQLI,
If you
inferential
have the
that is
question is like
blind
that,
SQLI, outbound
the
SQLI.
describe the different types of injection attack, then obviously you can give this thing, SQL injection, which is equal to SQL
Code.
manipulation. Number
Hmm.
two is code injection, and number three
Okay.
is function call injection. Although there are many types of injection. Okay, I have
Okay.
all detailed note for that. Okay,
Okay.
so but
Injection attacks, if they ask, this will be the answer.
yes,
Code
if the
injection,
if
SQL
the question
injection.
is like that,
Hmm. Hmm.
discuss different injection attack, but I don't think that is going to happen.
Hmm.
So what I am expecting, discuss different SQL injection methods or SQL injection attack. Now if
Okay.
they say like that, SQL injection attack, then there will be a confusion whether
Definitely.
to whether to put these things, means this
Hmm.
SQL manipulation and this code injection and this thing, or that thing, inbound, outbound,
Hmm.
because that inbound outbound are the right answer, but in
Okay.
PPT this is not mentioned in that way. Okay, so there is a confusion, I don't know. Whatever you like, you can do it. Okay, here is a mistake also. This should not be like that. This or should be come inside a quote also.
Okay.
or this plus should not be there. This should be there.
Hmm.
See, this is
Hmm.
1 equal to 1 is always going to true, है ना?
Hmm.
Select star from user. User table से data pick
Hmm.
कर रहा है. You select star from user where username equal to Jack or and password equal to something like that. Okay, whatever the password,
Hmm.
or means this section is been injected. This section is been injected. This one.
Hmm. Hmm.
This one is injected. Okay, or 1 equal to 1. What is 1 equal to 1? 1 equal to 1 is always
Always
true.
true.
So even if this password is not true,
Wrong.
obviously it will not be
Hmm.
true. Okay, then this section
Hmm.
will be true, and you will get all the data. See star, all the data along with the password. Although the password
Hmm.
should be there in encrypted form, whatever,
Hmm.
that will be, that can be achievable.
Such.
So that is your SQL different types of injection attack or SQL injection attack. Now the another question they can make from here, what you will do to prevent SQL injection, that you can
Hmm.
also expect. Okay,
Okay. Prevent protection techniques.
they have only mentioned these things. Protection against SQL injection attack can be achieved by applying certain programming rules to the web accessible procedure function. Bind variable. Now, what is bind variable? These are the 2 points only,
Hmm.
but you have other points too. Okay, bind
Hmm.
variable is something like that. If you use prepared statement or in PHP, we also use like that something. Okay, in Python also. Okay, we can
Hmm.
put percentage over there, percentage. So we are not going to put the direct variable inside the query. Rather, we will
Hmm.
use some language specific function to put the uh, value. Actually, what happened? Why? What is
Hmm.
injection? SQL injection. See here, you will have some forms, na?
हाँ.
For any application like that you are searching for laptop. Okay, so
Hmm.
it is asking some data from the user, na?
Correct. Hmm.
Enter your address, enter your name, etc., etc.
Pin
So
code,
this
something like that.
data is going to hit the organization database, and
Hmm.
inside that organization database you have lots of important data.
Hmm.
So while after submitting the button, okay, this query is going to travel to
Hit
that
the
database.
database.
So in
Hmm.
between, if in between that
Hmm.
bad guy, okay,
Hmm.
insert the insert or modify that SQL statement, okay, and
Hmm.
when this data is returned by the server, that person can get
All the
all the
data.
data. Okay, that is SQL injection or any kind of
Hmm.
injection. Okay,
Hmm.
SQL injection is basically modifying the SQL queries.
Query.
Okay, so these data, whatever the input data, that has been also passed to this way. Okay,
Hmm.
and what, how this database will react to this data. Now, before sending those data to the database, if we can if we can filter these data from user
Hmm.
input,
Hmm.
whatever we are taking, by using some scripting language like JavaScript or any other. Okay,
Hmm.
so we can filter those data,
Protect.
that these are the
Hmm.
things that should not be there inside the user input. Okay, so we are
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
expecting that user will input some scripting
Or.
language over there or some programming suspicious contents should not be put
Hmm.
there. Okay, so this has been mentioned here, programming rules, some programming rules. Okay, so
Hmm.
this is filtering, actually user filtering, or you can say sanitizing the data, user
Okay.
data.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so after proper filtration we can send the data. Okay,
To the
that is
server.
one thing. And the
Okay.
other thing, when the data reach to the server, so
Hmm.
there actual, while we are preparing the actual query, we should not
Hmm.
use the query, we shouldn't use the query bare. Rather we should use some programming language specific functions, just like prepare statement, okay,
Mm-hmm.
to prepare the SQL query. Okay,
Okay.
so that will prevent somehow the SQL
Mm-hmm.
injection.
SQL injection.
Data security, another unit. I don't think you are going to get anything from here. This introduction, flow control. So you can leave it. I also leave it.
Mm.
So next you have again data security. तीन तीन यूनिट देते रहते हैं. Introduction to data security issues. अच्छा. What will happen when we compromise the security? Okay.
Mm.
Database security and DBA. What is the role of DBA? DBA is the ultimate boss of database.
Database.
Revoking privilege, creating user. Huh. One thing, one question you can get here, that is from this Mac. Mandatory access
Mm.
control and role where RBAC, Mac, these are the things.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
RBAC. This is. So these are some acts of DBA. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
for descriptive, you can have these things. What is Mac? Okay. These are some policies. So just like
Okay.
that. यहाँ पर है ही.
Mm.
Again SQL ingestion. So we skip this part. Same thing.
Mm.
Same thing. 5 unit
Hashing
5 is not
techniques.
there, no?
Uh-huh. Not there. 6 and 7.
बी प्लस ट्री कितने सारे क्वेश्चंस बन सकते थे इंडेक्सिंग से ऊपर से storage and indexing skip this
Ah,
part then we have
7. 6th unit.
6 units object relational database this is the 6 unit this is the 6
Mm.
object relational database
Databases.
this is the most complicated part means designed also in complicated way okay
Okay.
relationship see here basically I would like to
Mm.
give you an intro over object relational database.
Mm.
Okay. Part 1 object definition language. Object definition language is okay. I'm telling you. Object definition
Mm.
language, data type, basic class, differences between ER and ODL, ER, keys, object relational database. Again, part 2. अच्छा पार्ट 2 में है OQL,
Mm.
OQL, OQL. Then
इसमें पूरा क्वेरी है.
object relational database. Again object relational database. See, this part need to become first, I think.
फर्स्ट.
Overview of object concept. हाँ, यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन है ये ये ऑब्जेक्ट रिलेशनल डेटाबेस जो कह रहे हैं ना देखिए ऑब्जेक्ट डेटाबेस टेल मी आर दिस टू थिंग्स सेम ऑब्जेक्ट रिलेशनल डेटाबेस एंड ऑब्जेक्ट डेटाबेस do you know you do not know you do not have that idea Okay. So here I can give you an intro. Just a minute. From tomorrow, I was concentrating on this unit. I actually started
Okay.
mm, object OID, ODMS, encapsulation operation. Okay, fine. First of all, I'm telling you that we have done RDBMS. You know RDBMS?
Yes.
What is the full form?
Relational database management system.
Or we can say RDB, Relational Database.
Hmm.
Management system is basically the software. Okay.
Hmm.
Basically, the database, if you install Oracle, okay. So, what you are getting?
Hmm.
You are getting two things. One is the
Table.
core database, another is the interface through which you will use that database, right? So,
Correct.
that interface is your management system. Okay.
Hmm.
But the database is RDB. Okay.
RDB. Correct.
This is ORDB.
Hmm.
This is ORDB. Okay. So RDBMS, we have RDBMS or we can say RDB. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm just removing this MS part from here. RDB.
Hmm.
When it was invented, after that, it was means it was observed that in almost every business, this RDB fits very much well. Okay.
Hmm.
That was the time when there was no concept of your object oriented programming languages. Okay. Later
Hmm.
object oriented programming concepts arrives in our industry, and during 90s I think
Hmm.
a concept of object oriented database
Hmm.
was being introduced.
Hmm. Hmm.
Object oriented database. Now what is the difference between these two? Lots of difference. Okay. In fact, object oriented database were introduced into the market in order to replace RDB, you know.
Okay.
So since we found very much uh, acceptability and suitability of object oriented technique in programming
Hmm.
or in application development, so we thought that we should convert the entire relational database management systems or relational databases and
Hmm.
convert them to object oriented databases.
Object oriented.
Now, what is the basic difference between these two? I cannot describe completely, okay,
Hmm.
because I also belong to this RDB. Okay, I
Hmm.
have a very few work on OODB,
Hmm.
so and also the time do not permit. Okay, so RDB is basically on tables, right?
Hmm.
Tables that
Will have multiple
contains
table.
data
Hmm.
in row column format, okay,
Hmm.
and establishing relationship between the tables. So
Tables.
RDB tells us about the thing that
Hmm.
uh, whenever you require to store the data, you identify what are the tables, what are the data that you can segregate among different tables. Okay, create those
Hmm.
table, and if required, establish the relationship between
The relationship between
the
those two
tables.
tables. Hmm.
That was the most convenient way of doing the things, managing data for a long period of time,
Hmm.
and it was very suitable
Hmm.
for the business. Okay, but as the time progress, okay, one more thing. In RDB, we have some fixed type of data, means data types, just
Correct.
like varchar, number, okay,
Hmm.
date, something like that. Okay, so those are
Hmm.
the primitive types, simple,
Hmm.
simple type data types.
Simple data types.
So through all those simple type, we were supposed to manage all of our tasks. Okay,
Hmm.
there is no problem. Okay, until this huge demand for data due to cloud computing, due to your internet, okay, social
mm,
networking, okay, demand
mm.
uh, a huge amount of data transaction and huge amount of different types of data.
Types of data.
Okay, as the day progress, new types of data has been introduced. Okay, so rdbms in such a way, in some particular areas rdbms was going behind that, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not capable of handling those kind of data.
Limitation.
Okay, or in order to maintain that kind of data we have to do lots of tasks in rdbms. I can give you a very clear example on that.
Mm,
Let's see later. So that was the
mm,
drawback. Okay, if we consider that
mm-hmm.
as a drawback of rdb. Okay,
Okay.
when the application is going to be real large application, okay, real time oriented application, huge amount of audience or huge amount of user is going to interact with your database. Okay, and newer types, okay, different
Mm,
types of data, not only the simple types of data, some complex types of
mm,
data will arrive, just like your video
mm,
streaming data. Okay,
mm,
some statistical data. So those are some
mm,
complex type of data
mm,
are introduced in the market. Okay, so
mm,
those things will not be easily handled by rdb, or
mm,
you're right, easily handled by rdb, or in some rare
mm-hmm.
cases rdb was completely failed to represent those types of data or
Type of
those
data.
demands.
Mm,
Okay, so
mm-hmm.
here they were thinking that, okay,
Oh,
let's
oh.
match the database with today's demand. Okay, what is today's demand?
Mm-hmm.
To represent everything as object. Okay,
Object.
so object, what is object? Object is real world entity. Okay,
Mm.
so object is basically collective part where you have the data as well as
And
the methods. Data
methods.
will give you the state and method will give you the what? Method will give you
Functionalities
the
or
behavior,
behavior.
right? Behavior. So this is a complete object. Okay. So why don't you store? Why don't you? Why don't we make the database in such a way that we can store the database directly inside the
Mm,
storage? That is the
mm,
philosophy of creating object-oriented database. You understand?
mm,
So OODB was basically introduced to replace every RDB, but
mm-hmm.
I can tell you that it was not possible. Okay, and OODB
Mm,
somehow has also see failures. Okay,
mm-hmm.
so every object, everything do not
Mm,
need to be represented as an object. Okay,
yes.
in application development or to represent data, everything do not need to be, because object is a complex structure by itself. Okay, to represent the
Mm,
object you need to do some extra stuffs, extra underlying
correct.
stuff, so those are all not
Mm,
required for many of the applications, many of the necessaries.
yes.
Okay,
Mm,
so object oriented database, you can say, till today is not very much successful, and researches and works are constantly going on how to
mm-hmm.
refurb it or how to go to the next level. Okay, so that
Okay.
was the concept of object oriented database. So what is the basic difference of between these two? Here the
Data.
data,
Handling the data.
yeah, here the data was distributed, means data was in its simplest
Distributed.
form,
Table.
but
In
here
this.
the
Correct.
data is represented as object along with its behavior. Okay, to meet the requirement of today's need.
Need.
So I told you that this was not successful to object-oriented database. Okay, but what we have to do? Then we have to stick to the RDB.
Ah,
But the need is
object.
genuine, na?
Yes.
Object need
Correct.
is genuine. And with some
Mm,
applications always need, it is better to represent the data in object format. Okay,
mm,
so in between, what appears? ORD means this one, object relational database.
Okay.
They are taking the basic concept of relational database management system. Okay, basic
Oh,
concept means
okay.
not basic concept, everything. They have taken
Mm.
everything here, all
Mm-hmm.
everything, not basic concept. Okay, so basically ORD is what? ORD is RDBMS plus the object concept of OODB.
OODB.
Okay, means here now in relational database system in ORDB, ORDB is basically relational database. Okay, in the same way,
Mm.
tabular form. Here you can
Mm.
represent your data as
Mm.
objects. Here you can create your own data types. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this is your ORD. Okay,
Okay.
you got it.
Yes, yes, I got it.
So the main thing in ORD, the main thing is relational database plus object concept, object
Object
type,
oriented.
you can say object
Mm-hmm.
concept. Okay,
Type.
object oriented
Mm-hmm.
concept is introduced, means you can
Mm-hmm.
now put the data, object data,
Mm-hmm.
in your tables, in the same old table. Okay, where earlier you have your data. Suppose you have a company. Okay, for many days
Mm.
you are running on RDBMS. Okay, now
Mm.
for new requirement you need to store some additional data in the same old tables. Okay, now is
Okay.
it possible for you to shift the entire database to OODB? No, you do not
No,
require.
not possible.
Okay, so that's why you have the facility of ORD, that you, if you go with ORD, then you can also have the facility of object oriented representation of data into the relational
Mm-hmm.
database. So you do not
Okay.
require to change, alter your
Yeah.
tables or the databases.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the main
Mm-hmm.
purpose. And believe me, today's Oracle,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Oracle
Mm.
is this one, object relational
ORDB.
database. Okay,
Okay.
right. So in Oracle
Yes.
we can apply features
Object.
of object oriented database, not all. Okay, some.
Mm.
So what you should mm, learn, see here, this object type is basically, I told you, object oriented database.
Mm.
The term object oriented abbreviated O. Okay, this is from OODB. An object typically, so they are actually describing what is object and something
Mm.
like that. Okay, what is object identity? Object identity is basically, you can say, ID for object. Okay,
Object. Okay.
it's a unique ID.
Mm-hmm. Just
ID
like
obviously
primary key
mutable. So this is basically the object oriented concept of
concept.
database. These
Mm-hmm.
points. Okay,
Mm.
these points. Now, here they have given an example. This is hugely popular example. In almost all sites given this example.
Mm.
Okay, so see here, it is a class, right?
Mm.
It is a class. So here you can define a class. Now, for
Mm.
which this example is? This example is for OODB,
Employee. OODB.
because the
Right.
previous points are related to OODB. Okay,
Mm.
so this OODB, in OODB you can create class, just like in Java you can create class. See
Create.
here,
Mm.
define class employee, type
Mm.
tuple. Okay, so these are the attributes. These are the attributes, and these are the methods. These are the methods.
This is completely OODB.
OODB. Okay,
Hmm.
and I don't think that they are going to give anything from OODB because the unit name is ORDB, na?
ORDB
So ORDB is basically RDBMS, which
plus
incorporate the concept of
ob
creating new
ODB.
types and object, representing data as object. Okay, so I will give you an example in
Hmm.
my Oracle interface.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait, you can view it so that you will get a confidence and you can write the same. See here now, from this slide, these are important for MCQs.
MCQ.
User defined type and complex structure for objects. Okay,
Just now what you explained, I think.
user defined types means you can implement
Create our own type.
abstract data type, user defined type. Okay,
Hmm.
in obviously it is under object oriented database. Okay, but from here you can consider uh, object relational database, ORD. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I will demonstrate this thing, how to create a type. See
Okay.
here, these things I will demonstrate. It's very easy, very easy.
Mm.
And we always do these things in Oracle. This is nothing new to
Okay.
us. Okay,
Okay.
means creating user defined data type.
Okay.
Object identifier, anyway. So encapsulation operation. These are all images, These are all
Mm.
images. Okay, one more thing I would like to tell you. Where should I write? Okay, see here. See, in object oriented, you remember that in RDBMS
Mm.
we used SQL. No?
Yes.
SQL broadly we have two different types of uh, language, DDL and the other one is your DML, right?
DML.
What is the
Mm.
purpose of DDL? The purpose is
Creating
basically to create, alter tables,
structure.
structure
Table
related.
structure.
Okay, structure
Mm.
related means creating tables, something like that.
Mm.
Okay, so those all stuffs have been done by DDL statements or language, data
Mm.
definition language. And what was the purpose of DML?
Mm. It is creation of this one.
Insert,
Updation.
update, delete,
Insert, update, delete.
means manipulating data.
Manipulating the data.
Okay. So in OODB,
Mm.
the same thing is done by two different, okay,
Mm-hmm.
two different languages. That language is called your ODL and another is your OQL, which was there in the previous units, I think. That
Mm-hmm.
ODL and OQL, you remember? See
Yes,
here,
yes, we have seen in the previous one.
see, object relational database, see, ODL, this is your
Mm.
ODL, this unit,
Mm.
and the next unit, I think it will be your OQL. Okay, OQL was there. Yeah,
यहाँ पे.
this is OQL, and the previous one will be your ODL.
Mm.
Yeah, ODL. Okay, right, OQL and
Mm.
ODL. So these are the two. Where I was writing, yeah. So these are the
Mm.
two things. So this is serving the structural part, means creating the definition of
Creating
type,
that.
creating classes and everything. Okay,
Mm.
this part handles. Okay, and this part
Mm.
handles the manipulation part. So this is structure related, this is manipulation related. This is
Manipulation
ODL
related.
is similar to DDL, OQL
Mm.
is similar to DML.
DML.
So whatever ODL in OODB, that is DDL in SQL, means
Mm.
RDBMS. And
Mm.
what is your DML in RDBMS or SQL? You have OQL here in OODB.
OQLD.
But
Mm.
these are the category of language. But which with which language we will going to describe this? We are going to write the codes. That is the same SQL. Okay,
Okay.
and that is called, you can say, advanced SQL.
Oh,
Advanced SQL.
SQL.
SQL is advanced, or you can say enhanced SQL. I found the term enhanced SQL in this PPT somewhere. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Enhanced SQL is basically used to accommodate object oriented operations in SQL, specifically that wordy operations. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what are the wordy operations? Is creating type, okay, inheriting
Mm.
types, creating one type from another. Okay.
Encapsulation.
So this is the concept of what is ODL and what is OQL. I hope you understand. Okay.
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Mm, So I found in this PPT these things are not classified clearly. Means what is
Mm.
OODB, what is ORDB. Okay. All those things have been, what I can say. So specifying inheritance, overloading functions. Okay, fine. So these things I think these things are important. How to, this is
Mm.
basically showing how to create user defined type. You
Right.
have to know how to
Mm.
create user defined types and how
Mm.
to use that user defined type into your query. Okay.
Query.
Okay, so can we take a demonstration
Mm. We
so
can
that you
start.
can understand these all things?
Mm.
Do not
Yes.
go to this one, means
Mm.
you can,
Encapsulation.
that class part, because class
Mm.
part is basically for that OODB.
OODB.
Okay, it has no relation with ORDB.
ORDP. Mm.
ORD, you can create the types, you can use the type in your relational database. Okay, so
Mm.
by creating this class, you can create this class. Okay, and in OODB, there is a concept, this class need to be attached to a programming language, object oriented programming language like C++ or Java. Otherwise
Mm-hmm.
they have no task. Okay, they are just mere specification how the
Okay.
object will look like. But to implement these things, you need these languages.
Programming languages.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you got it. So
Yes, yes,
inside
I
these
got it.
languages, you have to embed
To
some
create
kinds
these
of,
types.
yes, some kinds
Mm.
of SQL. Okay, to create those objects. Okay, so
Mm.
without the help of these languages,
Programming, we
this
cannot
thing
create
will
this.
not. So in OODB, okay, so if you want to
Mm.
create your database in OODB, so you have to have the OODB. With that, you have to have the arrangement to access
Mm.
the, or to do the this programming part
Mm.
too. Okay, which makes
Okay.
things more complicated.
More complicated.
Okay, but in case of ORD, you do not have
We
to
can
do
just think
anything. Whatever you have to do,
in
you have to do
SQL
it in
itself.
SQL. Okay,
SQL.
you have to do it in SQL, and you can do it in your
Mm.
same interface. That I am going to show you. That I can demonstrate you.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
but first, what I will do, I am going to my live. You remember we have live SQL.
Uh-huh. You had showed in the beginning.
Although we have the Oracle here installed, Oracle Express Edition,
Mm.
but we can go live SQL so that everyone can have a quick practice. So live SQL start coding. You have to log into your interface. You can also practice. I hope you have the credentials with you.
Ah,
Okay, so this is the section. Okay, here you can write the queries. Is it clearly visible?
yes, it is visible.
Can I zoom it a bit?
No, it is fine.
It is fine, na? Okay.
Ah, it is fine.
Okay, let here quickly write a few code. Say you know that we have our data types in Oracle, na? That number,
Mm.
varchar,
Varchar,
dates, and
date.
etc. Okay,
Mm.
but think, suppose okay, I'm writing the thing here. ODMG, object oriented database modeling.
Mm.
This is something like ERD. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
object query language again
AQL.
given here. Iterator. These are all in concern of OODB.
Mm.
Okay, so actually, what I will do, say we will
Mm.
create a table. Okay, in
Okay.
table, say the table name is your what I will say JStud.
Mm.
Okay, stud.
Okay.
Okay. Say suppose you have a student ID.
Mm.
Okay, and you will have a student name.
Mm.
Say this section will represent the address of the student. Okay,
Okay.
think clearly that if it is the RDBMS, okay,
Mm.
RDBMS, okay, to represent the address, how you can represent the address? एक तो you can put the total address like that, say address like that within a string,
Mm.
say 12
Mm.
MG Road, MG Road,
Mm.
okay, Bengaluru
Varchar, using
102,
varchar or string
India,
data.
okay.
Mm.
So make this field as a varchar field, okay.
Mm.
But this will generally we do not keep the address in this pattern. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time of searching, if I want to search how many students are there from Bengaluru, then you have to do lots of string operations.
Correct.
So we do not do the means do not structure the database in this way. Okay.
Mm.
So as a better approach, we can do
Mm.
like that. JStut, we can distribute. We can divide the tuple. We can divide the column in that way. ID,
City
name,
and pin code to be taken
city, right,
differently. Mm.
city, street, okay, then pin
Mm.
code, okay. So what happens here, you are distributing the one
Address
column
in different
element into
columns.
different columns, okay.
Mm.
Here in object ORD, in ORD
Mm.
you have that facility to keep the things together, okay. That means
Okay.
say jstud
Mm.
Here id will be there. Okay, what will be the type of
mm,
the id? That will be maybe integer, means number.
integer.
This is
Mm,
varchar, this is varchar, this is
mm,
varchar, everything will be varchar, na?
correct.
So here id, name,
Mm,
and the other field you remain as address, like that.
mm.
Okay, what is the type of this field? Number. What is the type of this field? Varchar. What will
Varchar
be the type of this field? Here we are going to create a
object.
new type, right? A new
Mm,
type. Okay, object type, you can say object type, new
object
data
type.
type, user defined type, abstract type,
Mm,
that we are going to, where we can put the data just like
mm,
that. Okay, maybe you can visualize it like that. The add column
mm.
is going to divide into two three subcolumns like that way. Okay, how to do that,
Okay.
I am going to demonstrate you. Okay, just see how to create a type. So the syntax is create type. Say I'm giving name add, say new add. Okay,
Mm,
as object. Inside that, you just write the name. Say street.
mm.
That will be your varchar. Say 20, and city varchar 20. Okay, I'm just
Mm.
keeping these two fields. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. So if I run that code, say here run. So see here type created. A new data type created. You have created a new
Created.
data type. The name of the data type is new add. Okay.
New add.
So if you want to view that thing, you can describe new add. So how to describe it? You describe it like that. See here, this is the new type you have created. See here, this is the type. So inside this
Mm.
new add, you have two things, two
Street
attributes. You
and
can say
city.
these are the attributes. Okay, so street
Mm.
attribute with this type, and this is this type.
City
Okay.
with the Varchar attribute.
Hmm. Now you can use this data type to create a new table, right?
Mm.
While you are creating a table, you remember the syntax: create table,
Create
say
table.
J
Mm.
stud. Inside that, ID,
Data type.
number,
Number.
5,
Size.
the name, varchar 20. Then you can give address, right?
Mm.
Say add address, like what was the data type? New and.
I added address.
So this is the syntax of creating a table.
New data
Got it?
type. Okay.
Here
Yes,
new
sir.
add is our UDT,
New
user
data type.
defined data type. So if I click it, invalid identifier, why create table name, then EID or ID. You can put EID number 5, then name varchar add. Okay, I give it name sadd. Okay, it's taking as a keyword.
Object.
Okay, I can give the
Okay.
primary key. It is as primary key. Okay, we can put some constraint, not learn constraints for this, not null, so that user cannot
Mm.
insert null value to name.
Mm.
So now this is complete. I hope it will run now. Okay, table created. You got it.
Yes, I
So
can.
if you want to describe the table, describe JSTUT, JS2. Then you will see here,
The
this
table
is the
is created.
table. You have EID as not null, and you have the type of the EID. See here, this is the type column. Type of the EID is
Mm-hmm.
number, Type of the name is varchar and type of the is add is new add. So this is our user defined data type. We have created that user defined data type. Okay, and this is
Okay.
what I am demonstrating. This one,
ORD, that
yeah,
object creation.
create type. This thing. Okay,
Mm. Okay.
was a bunch of this one. This one. These are the things we have created. The type. Got it.
Mm. Yes.
Now, how to insert data into it? You can insert a data.
Insert into
Insert into
JSTOR
J stood values.
values
So what was the first value? Say
one
101, and the
one
name say
Sachin.
chin, and how to enter the value
Address.
in address. For that, you have to use the constructor here.
Mm-hmm.
You can say constructor
Mm.
method. Okay, Oracle says constructor
Okay.
method. So how to use the
Mm.
constructor is simple like that. New add. You have to give the
Mm.
name, then within bracket
To
you
that
have to
object.
specify the value.
Mm.
So what was the
Mm.
first value? That was what m0. That is first one is our street, na?
City,
See,
s-
first one is our street,
street,
and then city,
street and density.
then city, then city is okay. So this will create one row.
Pro record or
So
one
one
tuple.
row inserted. Got it?
Mm.
So quickly we add two more rows. Two, say, uh,
Rahul.
Rohit, then maybe AB straight by one row inserted. Okay, and one more. So
Mm.
three, Rahul, say 100, Pit Road, again Bengaluru.
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
So three records have been inserted. Let's quickly see the records. So how what is the command? Select star from
From
J
base to
stood. Okay. See what happened. See here. These are the records. You have entered
mm.
three records here. Okay. So
Mm.
you were able to see these records, but you are not able to see this record because this is a
Mm.
user defined type record. Okay. We can display this
Mm.
record in this way. Okay. See, rather specifying star, we can use
Okay, only give two values,
EID, name,
name and
and then
address.
you have to give the name of
New
those
add.
new ad. How to give that? For that purpose, you have to put an alias. It's not alias actually. It is the iterator. Say s. Okay,
Mhm.
s dot. What was the data type name? Sorry, field name. S
Field name
add.
is S add.
S add is the field name. Huh?
Mm.
So inside s add we have put street, then s dot
Comma. S
s
dot
add
city.
dot city. So clearly it is very much understandable. S is this thing. That means you have to. It is something like aliasing. Okay, you can remember it
Mm.
from RDBMS, but it is not following the RDBMS. It is actually following the ORDB. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in ORDB you can refer it as iterator, which
Mm.
can iterate over the it is actually using for reference purpose. So s dot s add is the field name, that
Mm.
user defined type field name. Okay, s add. Okay, and inside s add you have what? Two columns.
Two column.
One is street, another is city. So dot street and dot city, right? So let's
Mm.
quickly run the
This
code.
yes is there, J.
See here.
After that object J stood.
Which one?
This S after J stood
Yesterday's.
that
Yes, yes.
object. Okay.
Okay. See here. These are the value. Okay.
What is required? It is displayed.
Got it. Now
Mm.
you can do any sorts of query on
Operation.
them by,
Mm.
if you follow this way of representing of accessing the attributes from a user defined data
Mm-hmm.
type, then you can do anything. So just like quickly I am showing two things. Say I want to count how many are from
Bengal.
different
Okay.
cities. Okay, so we are
Mm.
actually using the aggregate functions. Select say count eid, okay, from what? J stood
They stood.
s, okay,
Mm.
and we will count in city. So how to represent city? S dot s at dot city comma this one, right,
Mm.
from J stood. Run this thing. Not a single group function. What happened? ग्रुप बाई, ओ ग्रुप बाई लिखे नहीं है.
हाँ.
Group by what is dot
City.
is add dot city. No, you cannot
City.
mention only city here because city is
Object
erasable.
representation.
Yeah, city is
Mm.
inside that object. Okay, that is a
Mm.
column object.
Mm.
See here. From
Equal to.
Bengaluru, there are two. From Mumbai, there are one. Okay.
Okay. Mm.
If you represent having, you can represent having
Having
count EID greater than one. Okay, is
mm.
also possible. See here.
Mm.
You got it. Having count greater than
Count ye
one means
one.
show only those cities with the count
Whose
value
EAD is greater than
from where
one.
there are multiple students, not single student,
Two
multiple
students are
student.
there.
At least two students will be there, right?
Mm.
So see, nothing has been changed from RDBMS. Only the thing is that you can introduce your own data type. That
Data
is
type,
your user
user
defined
defined
data
data
type.
type.
Okay. Now, in consequence, you can extend the data type. Okay, suppose you have this s add data, sorry, new add data type. Now you want to
Mm.
create in some other project or in the same database, you need some other kind of address which needs some email address to
Mm.
add over here. So what you can do,
Alternative me phone
you can
numbers,
you can
anything.
delete this ad new ad, but that will not be a good concept because this new ad has already been referred in your earlier works here in the same database,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
the concept is you can derive your new address, means newer address, from the
From the
same old
new
type
ad.
by using
Mm-hmm.
super key, by using super type subtype concept, just like extends you,
In
inheritance. Okay,
keyword from the
yeah,
inheritance. Okay.
and those have been, I hope those have been given here. Object
I am
identifier, no. Object identifier, this is OODB concept. So this is the type.
under concept they have given, no?
Hmm,
So might be would have used somewhere inheritance.
create type, inheriting interface. There is something called in OODB. Okay,
Mm.
no, you do not have that thing here. Okay, अंडर कहाँ है क्या?
कहाँ कहाँ कहीं पे देखी मैंने अभी, अंडर कीवर्ड था वो क्वेरी में,
हाँ,
इमेज फॉर्मेट में था ना।
okay. So that is the thing. Okay, so you can derive your newer type from an existing
फ्रॉम,
parent type, super type. Okay,
ओके।
this is inheritance concept. This is also inheritance concept, but this is for object oriented database. Okay, in object oriented database there are two things. In OODB there are two things. One is your class, another is your interface, just like you, if you remember Java. Okay,
हम्म।
you can create your
एब्स्ट्रैक्ट।
objects using class and using interface. Okay,
इंटरफेस।
so an interface can be implemented in class. Just like implement, you have to use this
हम्म।
notation. Okay, you have to use this notation. Okay, and there are two types of inheritance. Inheritance, two types of inheritance. What is two types of inheritance? One class can inherit another class, right?
हम्म।
This is C1, this is C2. This is one kind of inheritance as per
इनहेरिटेंस।
this OODB concept.
हम्म।
Not OODB, it is for everywhere in object oriented programming too. But in OODB specifically, they are mentioning that, see here, there are two types of relationship, inheritance relationship. One is your behavior only inheritance, another is your state plus behavior inheritance. These concepts are nothing but when you are inheriting an interface. Okay,
हम्म।
when you are inheriting an interface, that time you are actually, what is there inside an interface? Inside an interface you will have only methods, na? Means the behavior.
हाँ, बिहेवियर।
So while you are inheriting from an
हम्म।
interface,
हम्म।
that is termed as behavior only inheritance. You are
ओके।
okay?
या,
When you are inheriting from an
इनहेरिटिंग फ्रॉम द
interface
इंटरफेस।
into a class, that time it is a behavior only inheritance. Okay, and you should also know that you can inherit from multiple interfaces. Okay, multiple interfaces can be inherited, can be put inside a single class. So that is called multiple inheritance here. Okay, and what is your state plus behavior? State means what? State means the
डेटा
attributes, the data.
मेंबर आल्सो विल बी देयर।
So state plus behavior means you are when you are inheriting from a class. Okay, a class is
क्लास।
inherited into another class. That is your state plus behavior inheritance. Okay, and those inheritance you can do with extends keyword. See, the other inheritance relationship called extend inheritance is specified by the keyword extends. Acha, this colon is used for behavior inheritance. When you are extending, when you are inheriting from an interface, then you will use this colon. Okay, it is just, you can say, this is the counterpart of implements keyword in Java. Okay, so they have given this thing but without any example, so only theoretical questions. Now, what is extent? What is key? These are all related to object oriented database. This is also object oriented database. See here how to write a class. This thing I cannot demonstrate you over here because this will not support. Okay, this live SQL will not support this thing. And
I think
also,
this is the other colon, na? Scope resolution operator like that they have here in this image.
where
Inverse department. हाँ,
this
just
one,
there. हाँ,
this one is something different. Okay,
oh,
say
that is different.
relationship. There is something called relationship are of two type. One is your inheritance, another is your inverse. Okay, so
Mhm.
to represent the inverse, what actually inverse means, inheritance, though you understand. Okay, to
Mm,
perform inheritance you will use extend keyword,
mm,
right? Extend na,
mm.
extends,
Extends.
extends, just like Java. So I'm
Mm.
trying to find any example if they have here. Extends. Oh, this is under. This is the
Mm.
inheritance for user defined type. You remember, this is inheritance
Mm.
for user defined type. Okay, and this
Mm-hmm.
is okay with wordy, wordy and OODB too.
Okay, both.
Yeah, because wordy is, you can say wordy is taking the concept from OODB. Okay,
Mm.
so to create this user defined type is basically the concept of object oriented database, which is taken
Mm.
and merged with relational database management system to form the wordy. Got it?
Okay.
So this is the inheritance of user defined data type. It is not the inheritance of class. See here, this is type. No, this is type.
Mm.
This is creating user defined data type that I have described here, demonstrated you.
Mm. That with JStudent.
Yeah, but where is, see, this is interface. This is one interface inheriting another interface. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but where is class? There is no class. They did not give any example of it. Anyway, we do not require, because they are not going to
Mm.
give these things. So forget it. Okay. But I hope, see here. These all examples are very familiar in internet. Everywhere you will find these slides.
Mm.
See, because these are all copied from some books. Okay, I have
Mm.
two books for that. See here, the faculty class, and this is extended. See here,
From
extend the
person.
same keyword from Java. Okay, so this
Mm.
here, this is a class. They are creating a class. Okay, which is extending the person class. Person may be some earlier class. Okay,
Mm.
so these are the attributes, and these are the methods, and these are the relationship. Okay, see, these are the relationship. So I told you that relationship are of two type, right?
Uh,
One is your
Here they've
inheritance,
given C
another is
inverse.
your inverse. So
Mm.
inheritance is implemented by extend, inverse is implemented by this thing. Okay, this colon,
Commit.
double colon. Now what is inverse relationship? Suppose faculty teaches student, I can say
Mm.
faculty teaches student. In relational database management we used to say like that, faculty
Mm.
teaches student, right?
Mm.
But in inverse relationship, but in OODB, hello.
Haha, I'm there.
Hmm, okay, but in OODB this type of relation has some other meaning too. It also means
Okay.
that student is taught by faculty.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, whenever you are specifying that faculty teaches student in
Mm.
OODB, okay,
Mm.
it also signifies that student
Student
is
is taught by.
taught by faculty. But this is not true. This may not be true for any type of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Here this is a relationship, okay,
Mm.
faculty and between faculty and student. So these things can be
Mm-hmm.
uh, thought like that. Okay, but
Okay.
there may be some situation where
Mm-hmm.
this direction means the one object is here, another object is there, so there is a relationship between these two from A to B, but there is no relationship between from A
Between
to B, from
to
B to
B.
A. So that means
Mm-hmm.
one way, that is one way,
Mm.
one way. Okay,
Or
so to
like something like
specify by
one-to-one
using,
relationship.
this inverse keyword, it is specifying that this relationship has two-way
Yes.
relationship.
Even B also has some relation with A.
Yeah, see here, as
Okay.
I make some noise in this figure. So here you can get, okay, no, it is not extended. So it is extended. You have inverse, you do not have inverse here. You have inverse here. Yeah, fine. You have inverse here. See here, just follow. Student, okay,
Hmm.
student, it has also specified insert inverse, na? So
Hmm.
student, this is the relationship name, majors in.
Hmm.
So student majors in department.
Department.
In this way, you have to read.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Here, see,
Okay.
this is more. This will be more convenient for you. You have to read like that. Faculty works in
Work.
department.
Hmm.
Inverse. Department has faculty.
Yes.
That means
Faculty.
the relationship between faculty and department is a two-way relationship. Okay.
Okay.
Faculty and department have two-way relationship.
Two-way relationship.
That has been specified by this. Okay.
Hmm.
This is basically a set. How can you read this
Hmm.
thing? Faculty advises a set of graduate student. This
Hmm.
is a set symbol. Okay. So this
Hmm.
is another class, or you can say object. Okay.
Hmm.
So in OODB, everything is object. You do not have any
Hmm.
concept of tables and like those things. Okay.
Yes.
So this is also an object. So faculty advises a set
Vices
of graduate student,
graduate students.
and inversely, graduate student
Graduate
has
students
advisor.
as the advisors.
Okay.
Got it.
So this is two-way.
The
This
relation.
inverse keyword is there to represent two-way relationship. Got it?
Hmm. Got it.
And there may be some situation where there should be no two-way relationship, and then
Hmm.
you do not have to specify that inverse. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
for those purpose. Anyway, okay, just I remember one more thing here. See here, uh, say you have that address, na new address, na we have
Hmm.
type new address. You can create if you want if you want to create a complete table. Okay, if you have
Hmm.
to create a complete table for the address, so just like that,
Hmm.
create table, say mm, uh, my ad,
Hmm.
my ad of what was the type new
New
ad.
ad.
So what it will do, it will create a my ad table just by incorporating the new type. Means whatever you have
Using the attributes of this new ad, it will create my address table.
complete, there will be
Hmm.
nothing in it, only those things. The table
Hmm.
created. If you describe it, what you will get, you will get the structure. See, this is a simple structure, this is a simple table, this is a simple table. So what is the significance? The significance is that you can convert, you can create a complete table, okay,
Hmm.
for your data types, use a different data type.
Okay.
Okay, this is just I remember, that's why I shown it to you. Okay, so this was all about unit 6, and this is the most complicated unit. Otherwise, baki all units are okay
Ah.
for descriptive. Okay,
Okay.
and in query processing, you will simply have two things. One is the steps. Okay, this is steps of query processing,
Hmm.
and there are a few algorithms. Okay,
Okay. This unit is seventh unit, na? Query processing.
Yes, this is seventh unit. So what are the algorithms? Algorithms are block join, nested block join. Those algorithms you have to just remember. So this one. Okay. To me,
Mm,
to me, I am just exploring all these things. These two things. I did not check the live classes.
mm,
I just went through that Unit 6 live classes.
mhm,
And estimating size, no, 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 no. Nothing is. See here. Nested loop join. This is important. Okay.
okay.
And block nested loop join. These two, these two things are the
Mm,
most important algorithms. So you have to read this thing out.
mhm.
Not required. This has join. These are the algorithms. Okay. So the most important algorithm are nested loop join and block nested loop
Nested
join.
loop and block loop join.
Evaluation of expression is a good question, but I hope this will not be given as you have to know this relational algebra expression. And but this is
They have not
means,
taught this,
yeah,
might
if
be.
it is a complete descriptive type examination, then obviously there will be a question from this section.
Mhm.
Okay, so this was about your unit 7, and what is there in unit 8? Unit 8 is for distributed database complete theory. What is heterogeneous homogeneous database? From name you can fragmentation. You have the concept of distributed database now.
Ah, the unit
Distributed
numbers.
database is nothing, is very simple concept that means suppose you are using Amazon just like we have used right now na, a
Ah,
few minutes earlier. So if
yes.
Amazon is going to set all its data into a single location, say
Ah,
Amazon is
it
from
really require very
USA.
big
Okay,
storage.
on not only big storage, say
Mm,
we are accessing it from India, somebody is accessing it from Russia, somebody is accessing it from Japan. Okay,
mm,
so different location, from different location, they are all going to access to the same database. Okay, so
mm,
this traveling cost also you should concern. Okay,
mm,
and all the data, since all data has been merged here, so
mm,
obviously the person who is sitting in Tokyo, what she or he is going to search should not be means
Same
same
as what in
as
the
that
other
we,
location
yeah.
where we search.
Okay, so location specific searching or viewing or
Mm,
getting data is the basic philosophy of distributed database. Okay, so
mhm,
geographically this database is been distributed in many
mm,
locations, say Asia Pacific, okay,
mm,
say Europe or East Europe, West Europe, okay, in Asia Pacific, say East Asia and South
mm,
Asia. Okay, these all
mm,
means these are all the subpart of these things. Okay,
mhm,
rather storing all the data in a single location, they are storing the
mm,
data in different location, and they are managing some network among them, right?
correct.
So that by sitting in India, if you want to search, you will go to first amazon.in, but
Mm.
if you wish you could go directly to amazon.com, that is the
Dot
main site.
USA.
Okay,
Mm,
and you can check, okay, from the that particular database. Okay, so that is the concept of distributed database. Okay, now to now to s- now see, these all data need to be distributed among all these locations, right?
location. Mm,
So this is the concept of, say, data. This is data. This is the concept of fragmentation. So this is the, maybe this is the complete set of your customers. Okay,
mm,
now customers from India, customers from Europe, customer from Japan, customer from China, all are present in this table. So rather keeping all data together, what we can do, we can take the customers from India, okay, and
In a
put
separate
those
table.
data here. We can take customers from China and put those data here, right?
Mm.
So this is your horizontal fragmentation, because you are taking all the fields and you are
Mm.
fragmenting, you are dividing the tables horizontally. So that is your horizontal fragmentation. Okay. Now
Mm.
some data will be there where you have many columns, but here maybe from here your organization, you have only sales department here, but
Mm.
here you have production department, right? So here you have production
Mm.
department, you have sales department. So from this table, only the fields required for sales department need to be placed, right?
Mm.
And here only the field need to be present is production related data. So that is the
Mm.
concept of vertical fragmentation. You got it? So that
Okay.
is horizontal fragmentation. This vertical
And the
fragmentation.
vertical fragmentation.
These are the these two things are important from this chapter, and nothing more than anything. Nothing more from here. Okay.
Mm.
If she is merciful to us, otherwise I do not know. डायमेंशन मॉडलिंग फिर से आ गया है। अरे बाप रे
Star
वही।
schema.
I
Matrix
don't know,
schema.
the PPTs are organized in such a way, or when I merged
Might
all these
be
things, maybe this can
it
be,
got overlapped or what.
maybe. I cannot say like
Mm.
that. Okay. It may be my fault too. Okay, online analytical processing overlap.
Mm.
Okay, what did you tell me about? Okay, these things are quite simple, and I think there will be not much problem to understand this thing.
Mm.
OLAP cube.
Yes, if we read, it was okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you
Okay.
have to give the medicine. 10.
Yeah, it's amazing time. So OLAP cube you have the functionalities, means the functions roll up. Roll up means you are
Okay.
uh, squeezing. Okay,
Okay.
means you are clubbing
Condensing.
up the things
Okay.
from granular to coarse. Okay,
Hmm.
you are going to bigger things, means just like that.
Okay.
See,
Small to.
this one. This is your
Hmm.
roll up. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
actually I am rolling my mouse roller in down location. Still, this is roll up. You
Mm.
got it. At the same time, you
Yes,
are
yes.
able to see four slides, right?
Correct.
But in the reverse direction, this is drill down. Okay,
Mm.
you are zooming out. You are zooming out. See here, zooming out. This is drill down. You just remember these things, okay? And you
Mm.
just see these data. These slides are familiar very much. Okay, drill down is going in deep. See here,
In deep. Just
this
like
is for quarter.
zooming out
Yeah,
Google Maps also. Like, huh?
yes, just like see here, this is the quarter data. Okay,
Mm.
means this single row contains the data for this quarter, third quarter. Okay,
Mm.
so if you drill down, that means you are
Mm.
zooming in into it. When you
Mm.
are zooming into it, you will get month-wise data. See here,
Mm.
you will get month-wise data. If you further
Okay.
zoom into it, you may get date-wise data, just like that. That is
Mm-hmm.
drill down. Okay, means you are drilling
Mm.
down. You are trying to find more details of it.
More details in detail.
Yeah,
Means
slice. Okay,
a very granular level.
yeah, very good. Slice. Slice
Coarse
is
to granular.
स्लाइस को लेके मेरे साथ उनके थोड़ा बातचीत हुए थे, मतलब शी वाज नॉट एग्री व्हाट स्लाइस इज.
Mm.
Anyway, slice is actually means just like you make a sliced bread. Okay,
Hmm.
you are taking, you are discarding in a cube. How many dimensions you have? You have three dimensions.
Three-dimensional.
Slice means you have to discard one dimension and you have to go to a plane. That is a
Hmm.
slice. You may discard this dimension, so you will get this data. If you discard this dimension, then you will get this data, right? This
Correct.
data, right? So this is basically
Hmm.
slice. What is dice? Dice is basically a subset of the cube, whole
Hmm.
cube. Okay,
Correct.
it is a
Hmm.
subset. Slice is also a subset, and that was the confusion over there. Slice is also a subset,
Okay.
but sacrificing one dimension.
Hmm.
If you sacrifice one dimension, then you can say that slice is also a subset of the cube.
Whole
But dice
cube
is you do not have to sacrifice any dimension. Dice is same. Dice is a cube which contains all the dimensions,
dimensions.
but smaller amount of data. The
Hmm.
pivot it's means you are rotating the things. Okay, say locations was earlier here in this direction, and item type is there. Here item type is there and location is there. So this is another perspective of data. Okay,
Hmm.
so pivot means you are seeing the data from some another perspective, and that is all about.
Okay.
And this is the most important question, and hopefully you are going to get this thing. What are the different
Okay.
cube operations?
Cube operation.
Okay, OLAP cube operations. Okay,
Okay.
they may give the thing in two different format. One is to describe all the OLAP operation. Another is to describe any one of them. So if they ask any one of them, then you have to go deep inside that. Otherwise, you have to
Okay.
manage in your own way. Is it okay?
Okay.
Can
Yes.
I
Yes.
stop now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Just let me stop this thing.